Hey, it's me, Unapologetically T, and I am here for another just random video, which I'm gonna coin my inner thoughts because I really don't have a direction. However, I just wanted to do a video because I'm kind of getting used to doing these things and just letting them unfold naturally. And yeah, this week was weeking, and I feel like overall I have handled it well, and then there were some mistakes I made. I definitely felt like yesterday I made some mistakes, not in the sense that I'm taking blame for parts that my mother played, just in the sense of that I don't like losing control, and I felt like yesterday I definitely was not in control the way I wanted to be. So like I am taking a reflection for that. However, whatever I said, I meant what I said, and I said what I meant. Maybe my delivery was wrong. But you'll find that, I'm not perfect and maybe my delivery isn't meant to be right. And, I'm learning to be okay with that. So, but yeah, I'm also learning to be okay with that. My mom can coexist as a good mom and a bad mom and still be, my mom. And it's confusing to me, right? Because I grew up with this ideology. I don't know if it's just the black homes. I don't know what other cultures do. I also know not all black people have the same life experiences, contrary to what society has taught us, right? So, like they definitely make us define our blackness based off some shit that is not necessarily true or an all to be all. So I do want to be careful sometimes when I speak about my black experience. And I definitely think the people that I grew up around, and most of them, not all, but I think the people that I grew up around, we were definitely taught to that your parents were like the all to be all and you respected them no matter what. Like they were not wrong. And even though like as a kid you knew they were wrong sometimes, but you were never able to verbalize that they were wrong. You were never able to call your parents out on their bullshit. And I feel like that is a disservice to parenting. And parenting does not come with a parent, guide. And, you can do some shit wrong. And I think that if you do not allow your children the voice to advocate for themselves with you, the first person that they get to meet, that they get to form ideas of what people are supposed to be like, you're definitely, you're causing them to be on this spectrum of either they're gonna, shut down when it comes to authority and other people, and then there's another spectrum of it that people are most likely going to fall on, and that's going to be the people who are going to be like, fuck authority. Like I had to take this shit from my parents, so I'm not taking it from anybody else. I feel like I fell in both at different points in life. Like I felt like I did not super talk back until I was probably like a teenager. That's when I just kind of didn't give a fuck anymore. I told you I didn't care. Like I tried to take my own life. So I definitely had started not to be afraid of her anymore. However, there is a story about how I did mouth off to her. I was like probably 18. No, you know what? I was either early 18 or 17. It probably was 18 because we got to arguing over a college application or something. And I felt like she was wrong. She felt like she was right. And I told her that she was wrong. And she whooped my ass. And I don't mean like with the belt, like she street fought me. So I didn't hit her back, even though I wanted to. And I could have hit her back. But once again, it's this respect for a parental unit. And I look back on it, I'm happy I didn't hit her because it probably would have got worse. So, but yeah, I remember that night. As you can see, it's ingrained in my brain. And so, I've had my moments where I felt like fuck her authority. but I've also been beaten into submission as well. Which is this disservice to me, because I think by the time it was time for me to get into the real world, and that's another thing too, like when I was a teenager, I was angry. And you know, I did have those moments where like I did not respect adults and all that stuff. You could kind of if you know me during that time, then you know. But I respected, and let me take that back. I respected adults that respected me. And then there were some that I did, you know, kind of take frustrations out on. But most of the time, like, I definitely respected adults that respected me. Now, if you talk sideways to me, then I was going to talk sideways to you, because I was like, I'm damn sure, you know, I'm getting it from home. I'm not taking it from you. And, you know, like, so I don't apologize if you were, on the deserving end, but I do apologize to people who caught strays, and adults in particular. But I think by the time like I had probably went through the ordeal with my daughter's father, like I think I had once again been beaten into submission. Far as like society and authority and all that stuff, like I think I just got to this point where it was like, you know, just try to conform to society and authority. And once again, that's my mother would in my adulthood have her claws in me about what I should and should not do. And when I say that, I just say this, it is not, I do not think that, you know, she sets out to have this unhealthy relationship. I just think it is taught and learned behavior. She was taught this, and I think she did a better job than what was given to her. And, you know, I think that she did a better job than what was given to her, far as from her upbringing. And then I feel like, you know, I blame a lot of this on basically slavery and the colonizers. I really do feel like they fucked the Black family and the Black family unit. Like, it was something that was definitely, you know, valued and strong, and so much so that, like, you know, slaves were getting married behind their backs and all that stuff, and it would rip us away, and, you know, they just royally fucked us psychologically. So when I say my mother will still be my mother, I mean that shit with my chest. Like, no matter what me and her go through, she will still be my mother, because I watched her sacrifice for me. And I do not have it on my heart for her to be a perfect person at all. So, however, I am not going to allow her in my adult years to continue a cycle of abuse if it's not healthy. I do have to figure out that relationship. And for me, I think I'm figuring it out. Like, you know, I think text messages, checking on her is fine. And holidays, birthdays will be fine. Small doses. Like, we just need each other in small doses. Like, just know each other is okay. I feel like she's getting older, you know, so I still do want to make memories with my mom. Like, I feel like if I'm ever in a position, like, where it's vacation, I feel like she could vacation with me. We used to stay in same rooms for vacation. However, now you get your own room. I get my own room. You know, we're separate but equal, you know, like how y'all said we were. Yeah, that's a good joke. But yeah, so I do feel like, you know, she's made some fucked up mistakes, and she's continuing to make some fucked up mistakes. I've made some mistakes as a child, and I hope she forgive me. I forgive her, but I'm not going to keep allowing her to abuse me, and I'm not going to keep allowing myself to get out of my square. Like, you know, I already have enough going on. I don't need extra, you know, combat with my mom. So I do owe some debts that we have tied to each other. And I do think that's probably some root causes of her continuing to lash out over bullshit. Because I do think money, you know, matters to her in a way that it does not to me. And just because it does not matter to me doesn't mean that she's going to take it the same way I take it. So, however, I want to make this clear. I think I've made it clear in another video. But however, I did set up a plan, you know, that I would be able to pay the debts off. It's just not going the way she wants it to go. And because it's not going the way she wants it to go, like, I am feeling the wrath. I am catching the wrath. And you know, I feel like, if the shoe is on the other foot, I eat that shit. Like, I have to eat, what doesn't go my way and what's put on my plate that I feel like I shouldn't have to have on my plate, because she's my mom. But now that she's the authority figure still in her head, which I haven't lived under her roof in I don't know how many fucking years. Do the math. So yeah, and it's weird. I've always told people this, like, me not living in my mother's house, my mom still had mind control over me. And I think that's why she did not like Dante, is because it wasn't about her anymore. Like, I traded one narcissist for another narcissist, and it definitely was the clash of the titans. Who would win? Who would control this girl for the rest of her life, the most? And I will say this. I do feel like my mom has my best interest at heart for certain things. However, they're not my fucking interest. And I think she needs to realize that, like, my interest is not to do what she wanted to do or how she wanted to do them. My interest is something totally different because I am my own person and I am not her. And I don't think she realized that. So yes, even though my mom does have her goal and the attention she think I should have, is what she thinks I should have. I don't know if it's projection of what she might have wanted in life or what she thought she should do in life, but it's definitely not what I want. It's not what I desire. It's not what makes me happy, and I think she needs to be okay with that. Like, I think she definitely needs to be okay with that. And like I said, like, I cannot wait till I know I'm gonna be okay. I know how to make lemonade with lemons, and I've always done this, and I do not feel like this situation will be any different. I literally, had a kid while I was in college, didn't drop out, was only intending on getting 1 degree, got 3, and worked. I worked most of that whole school career. So I definitely know my power, my strength, and I know that just because I decided to quit this job with no backup plan and do these things, like, I know my future is still bright. So as soon as I can, even if the debt does not get settled, because that's what we're in the process of doing, like, trying to settle the debt. But if the debt does not get settled before I do start having some revenue or income coming in, then I would just go and pay that debt off, and I would never get anything in her name. And I kind of think that's like my fault, because I learned when I bought my first car, not first car, but my first, like, it was a brand new car when I bought it. It was when I graduated, I bought a 2015 Jeep, the worst Jeep, count your fucking days. Anyway, it was the worst car I had ever bought. It broke down so many fucking times. It literally was a lemon. I missed the lemon law, like, statute by just a couple of fucking months. Was it even a couple months? I think it was like a month. I missed the statute. But had I been informed that I should have, pursued it earlier, I would have. But I definitely bought a lemon. The car was trash. Like, it was worse than any car I've ever bought. Like, the used cars off a used car lot, every single used car that I've bought was way better than the 2015 Jeep Cherokee that I bought from Jeep. On everything I love. Like, even the Jeep that I had in high school was a better built car than the 2015 Jeep. This is not slander. There is proof and records of how much that, like, I even have family and friends who remember that car breaking down so many fucking times. Like, I mean, just, and then they call themselves fixing it, and it still would be broke. Like, one time I got in an accident because they said they had fixed the problem and they hadn't, and my brakes fucking failed. So, yeah, could have died doing that, but, like, yeah, I'm a vent about Jeep, and then I'm going to move on. I bought that car. She co-signed for me. Had the nervous breakdown, bought it in 2015. Had the nervous breakthrough. I'm going to change my wording. Breakthrough in 2017. I would say that when I went through that nervous breakdown, all I could hear about was her credit, her car, and I understand people need to stop valuing things over people's lives, because if I fucking wanted to unalive myself at that moment, why did I have to worry about some material thing? And I know this is easier said than done to some people. Some people might look at this video and be like, I'm the selfish one. However, I'm literally telling you the stress from her projecting stuff onto me about me owing a $600 car note when I didn't have any money coming in because I had got into an accident. The accident, I got hurt in the accident, and then the time that I spent from healing from the accident is when I started to have all the mental shit come in, because I had never taken a break. I didn't get a break from when I had the abortion when I was 16. I went straight through high school, had a lot of behavior issues, then almost didn't even graduate high school. Then go straight into college, had the baby, had all those issues. Just keep fast forwarding, like even the issues prior to the breakdown, even when I was 16, just all those issues that I've discussed, childhood stuff, like just moving forward, sexual abuse, let's just keep going. Never dealt with any of that shit, like literally made myself busy. The more busy I was, the less time that shit had to come into my brain. Because if I was exhausted, silly, I'm going to bed and I'm waking up and I'm doing it again. So, when I had that, like, I think it was like a month or two off, like, that shit started flooding in for me. Like, it literally attacked the shit out of me, and I didn't know what to do with it. Like, if you can imagine all those things just coming in and being like, hey, friend, you thought you hadn't dealt with this shit and you weren't gonna deal with this shit, but, like, here we are. We here, friend. Like, you see us? Like, we're here. We're still here, and we're here to deal with you. And I didn't want to deal with that shit. And, on top of that, like, that point in time, I couldn't pay rent. I didn't even know, like, HR rules. And even though I had a city job, like, nobody broke down, like, that I had these, I guess benefits. Nobody broke that down to me. Even when I remember, like, signing in for that job, like, that was my first career job. So when I first did the paperwork, like, nobody really, like, gave me a packet and was like, here's your stuff, and, like, go over it. None of that shit. Like, don't nobody even help you fill out the W-2s. Like, I did that wrong, ended up having to pay. So I owed taxes that year, too. So I was just, like, in this financial fucked up mess. That's why I said, like, right now, this shit not even hard. Like, what was hard was when I was a fucking young adult, and I went through my first nervous breakdown, and I had people tell me, what is wrong with you? Like, what is wrong with you? I had my mother tell me that, you was going to mess up your career just because I advocated and wanted to get help. And that was her ignorance. Like literally, these things were not personal attacks. That was their ignorance. And I'm learning not to personalize that shit. Like, it's more of, like, that's their work that they needed to do for them. But yeah, like, I had debt. I didn't know where I was going to live at again. That was another. So when I really say, like, this situation, I've been here before. Things have worked out before, and I didn't know how they was going to work out. So to go through this again, I do not even feel the same way I felt back then. Just imagine, like, I was back then, and I'm experiencing all these things as a young adult, as a mom, and I have a partner who's not a full partner because he has a drug addiction. So I'm literally dealing with this shit on my own, plus his issues. So definitely a lot smoother. But I do remember even back then, like, I vowed to myself, like, I would never get nothing in my name with nobody, because I felt like when I did do that, there wasn't a lot of compassion. There wasn't a lot of understanding in that department. It was kind of like, I understand you're going through things, but this needs to get paid. And I'm not gonna make her look like the bad guy. She definitely put pressure on me. I'm not gonna like take that from it either. However, what she did do was she was like, you know what? I'm gonna pay it up for you. And when she did that, she was like, I think she paid 2 months. She was like, I'm gonna pay 2 months for you. You give me the money back when you get a chance. As soon as I got a chance, I gave her the money back, and I also gave her a little bit more for her time. And that's what I would do this go around too. I'm going to give her a little bit more money for her time, because I do understand that, she does care about these things and I don't. And I can't, take away from her feelings and how it is affecting her. However, I would say this, like, if I'm already going through some shit, why put more pressure on me to that extreme if we have already had a conversation about how I am getting the debt resolved, how, our credit score has taken a hit right now, but the credit scores will go back up once the debt is resolved. So yeah, that's that. I have prayed on it. I forgive myself for having a mental breakdown after I've lost 6 human beings, a dog. Like, I have, lost the person that I spent a big chunk of my life with. And then even with that, like, I lost him before I even lost him. So I've been going through it. And I'm not the only one going through it. And so I am trying to have grace with her. However, I'm not about to be nobody's punching bag. Life is too short. And maybe if she understood, like, what if I wasn't exuding the strength that I have right now? What if I was just that one attack away from ending it all? Like, I want people to realize, like, stop beating up on fucking people. Like, stop doing it. Just stop doing it. You never know what people are going through. You never know what's the last straw for somebody. Like, you just never know. And you do not need it on your judgment day, because, like, fuck judgment from all of us. You do get to get judged by God, and you do not need that on the day that you go meet your maker. And whatever religion you believe in, like, we all have to pay for what we do. So, I gotta pay for being a disrespectful little brat sometimes, and she's gonna have to pay for being a very harmful parent at times, because even me being disrespectful is hurtful, but I don't exude the power that she has. Like, I don't have the power to make her feel the same way she makes me feel. It's just like when we think about white supremacy. Like, I literally look at parent and childhood relationships that are volatile, or not such a great thing. It's the same thing, right? It's this control and this power over another person. Like, that could it could either foster growth or it could stunt growth. And I feel like the relationship I've had with my mom it has done both. And so that's what's left me confused. But the stunning of the growth definitely is a violation. And her stunning of growth hasn't been little things. And there's probably people who have went through worse things than I have. My heart goes out to you, because I do know that there are some mothers out here worse than mine, which over the years, because I saw other mothers worse than mine, it did not allow me to validate my experiences that my mother wasn't that great. Also, a lot of friends met my mom and thought my mom was just so great. And I used to feel like, she wasn't. And I do think that's a normal, thing. Like, most kids be like, oh yeah, your parents cool, and like, blah, blah, blah. And then the other kid, feeling like, no, my parents not. But Mine was more so like, nah, you're not going through what I go through behind closed doors. And you didn't go through what I went through when I was growing up. So I do feel like, there's always going to be this level of somebody has it worse or somebody has it easier. But the people in the in between do not get to feel or validate those experiences. Even the people who've had it easy, they don't get to validate their hard experiences because they have issues too. So I definitely, I just wanted to talk about that more on a level-headed manner, and just make sure that like I have been true to myself in this process of revealing truths that's happened and that's happening to me. I try not to keep it current. I like to talk about things that have happened that I've actually addressed and worked on healing from. But that I feel like the relationship with my mom has been ongoing. However, after yesterday, like I said, I am learning to have boundaries, and my boundary is, like you fucked up yesterday, and we can just text each other. And we don't even have to do that much. It could just be like hey, how are you? You okay today? And that's fine with me. Because anything other than that, I find it to be messy or just feels like a soap opera. And I feel like my life has been a soap opera. And I'm just tired of it. I'm looking for the fairy tale mixed with, life challenges. Kind of like, maybe a Shrek and Fiona. No, I ain't trying to fight a whole bunch of goddamn wars all my life. But definitely I am looking for a softer lifestyle, and messy gossip drama is not going to go fit in there. I want peace. I'm living in the most peaceful state I've ever lived in my whole entire life, and that's saying something, right? Because I got all these issues going on, and this has been my most peaceful time of my whole entire life. So I look forward to the future. I cannot imagine what my future holds. Even though I have, because I'm a seer and I have a whole vision board. So I can imagine what my life will be. And I keep slipping with these words from the past. I know that it'll be more than I ever could have imagined, right? So I am leaving off on that good high note that, shit is still happening, and I'm okay that shit is still happening. I am going to continue to be a forgiving person. I just want to remind y'all that forgiveness is not for the other person. It is to free you. The more you hold on to that bitterness, you fuck up the whole chemistry in your whole body, and then you also attract more bitterness. So, I prayed before I even did that video, and I still was a little hot yesterday. And I prayed some more that night. I wrote a poem, and then I just been like doing this little thing, like, for me, and it's been working for me. It has been putting me back in my place of peace, my place of self-awareness, my place of just being okay with things not going right. Things are gonna go wrong sometimes. So it's just making me feel more level-headed. Self-care. So yeah, that's that for today. I will keep doing these videos as long as I get one view. I'm gonna continue doing these videos. And I hope they're helping. I do get confirmation that they are, so I thank y'all for that. I even met a stranger. I tell y'all, like, I meet people online, and it's like, for me, like, I just be knowing like that this person is okay person. Like, I feed off energy, and I'm learning to trust myself. Like, because when I used to pick up people who were not okay, like, I knew they weren't okay. Like, I chose that path because that's just the way my heart is set. So now I'm just learning to trust myself in the vibes that when I meet decent people. I will tell you this tidbit. Most people can't have who the fuck they are past 3 to 6 months. So I learned that from the narcissistic abuse. If they can, they are not of average. And, just still always be cautious though. So, I'm always going to be cautious of people, and I pray on people. Like, I pray, God reveal what their truth is. But typically I get, feelings and energy, and I don't even have to meet you in person. And I met a decent girl, and she's been doing her videos, and I have been, going to her videos and watching and commenting, and it's just been like such a great support. And she told me that I encouraged her by being vulnerable in my videos, and I'm definitely happy she's doing it. Like, it is definitely, something that I encourage everybody to do, not create videos, because however, everybody does not want to wear their shit out on the outside or whatever. Don't even want to be content creators. But I just encourage you to live in your truth. So whatever that is, whatever thing you've been wanting to do, or whatever thing that you always wanted to do and you just never did, like, go for it. What's stopping you? Do not let fear stop you, because fear will handicap you. Fear will keep you in your comfort zone. And I have stepped out of the comfort zone. I feel like the song is about Diana Ross. I'm coming out. I want the world to know. Yeah, I love that song. I think the LGBT community has made it theirs, but I think it should be ours. But yeah, I definitely feel like I am able to be freely myself, and I definitely encourage everybody to be freely themselves. I even have on like a humanity type shirt. That's one thing when you watch these videos, you will pick up that I talk a lot about race. Well, guess what? I grew up in the United fucking States of America, so race does matter here. And if you ain't paying attention, if you're black or brown, it matters all across this world. So I think it matters a lot more in certain areas. However, it's a thing, right? So I definitely, will go on my spills, and I will continue to go on my spills because I am living the black experience. But I do want to make it clear that I am for the human race. So it doesn't matter whether you black, white, purple, green, blue. It doesn't matter what your sexuality is. I am an ally. I'm going to say that shit loud and proud. I am an ally of the LGBT community. I feel like, we all are human. We all are living human experiences. And who am I to judge? Like, thou who cast the first stone, thou who have not sinned, cast the first stone. So, I have spoke about me being